Most Ezreal players are held back by the same mistakes. In this video, I go through the biggest ones and show you how to fix them so you can start carrying more games. So, the first thing that I advise every Ezreal player that wants to play League of Legends is to have a good ping. As you guys can see, I have 22 MS. Having a good ping is really important. If you're playing Ezreal and you have like 100 MS, you can surely climb up, but the champion is 99% skill shots. So, at least have a good PC, 60 FPS, at least 35 to 40 MS. It's the bare minimum to actually play this character. We're just gonna keep the wave even here, you see. I'm not gonna eat it too much. Skipping the wave on a middle state, because when I get level 2, I simply wanna jump into the MF and look for a trade. Now, maybe this game it won't happen, the enemy will respect a lot. The enemy is just like actually respecting way harder than what I expected. But when I get these 2 minions, you can actually look for this full linear, where I just stay forward, bait the spell, and even if Pantheon does this, we have eventually the level advantage, which gives us a lot of power. You see, despite going forward, the guy looked for the engage, but he didn't have enough levels to actually do that. So, quite unfortunate for our big boy. Lux still does the thing where she's doing a lot of poke. And from this position, we already won the lane, sort of. Like, after the trade at level 2, where we E forward, you win 99% of your Ezreal lanes just there, you know? Just by getting a few damage advantage. And we're just gonna poke the enemies every time. And what I advise you here, when you're playing Ezreal... Oh, is he dead? Nice, he's actually dead. So, you wanna watch when the enemy looks for the minion, you see? Like, you watch the minions being low, and when they are under tower, you wanna Q so that the enemy is gonna lose the minion. Because I feel like people always like, you know, for example, look here. Okay, you see, I queued for him to decide whether or not he's gonna lose the minion. Here, you see this minion, he's gonna auto. So here you can Q as soon as he does that. Even here, auto the auto, and now he has to auto the minion. You see how I'm making pressure just by doing these tiny things? Like queuing every time he looks for the minion, instead of queuing randomly and hoping to hit it. Because the enemy is gonna go on an auto-attack animation while he does that. And that's what you wanna do as Ezreal, just like really understand these timers. And those are the first things that I would look out if I was playing Ezreal, right? If I was playing Ezreal, the first thing is PTA. I like how to press the attack rather than lethal tempo. Works wonderfully, especially if you're new to the character. Easier, you just focus one target, put him down. That works really consistently. And the idea here is to have a bit of HP as well, because they have MF Pantheon, which the only problem that we have in this matchup is if they one-shot us. So, to avoid the one-shot, we're gonna go for Phage, and then go for a Shin. So we have a bit of damage, but we're not overdoing from another perspective. We just want some damage, but some HP as well, so that we're not gonna die right away. We're gonna W this guy, E auto Q. You see, we already put this guy 1 HP. Now, the Pantheon might actually look for me, but he fumbled a bit. And he is dead. We're gonna keep on going. The guy made a huge mistake, you see. We managed to do a lot here. Tap with this guy and keep outing. It's making infinite pressure. Okay, here we are. The guy is coming from here. Oh my god, I flashed. Okay, that flash was a bit bad, not gonna lie. But we're fine, and the enemy didn't kill us, so... Apparently we're in a good position anyways. My barrier is still up, so I could bait a bit. Pantheon is coming back, so I wouldn't go farther than that. So we're gonna go Phage here, right? And how do you decide the first item of the Trinity? This is really easy. Shin, if it's a full poke matchup and the enemy has no pressure on you, like the only thing that you can do is poke. In that case, you go Shin right away, because most of your damage is gonna be from far by using Q. Enemy team has hard engage, but you also wanna deal damage. Phage. Enemy team engages and you have a chance to play back. You go for Airbound. That's how you decide. Every item has his own reason, and that's why I love Trinity. You can buy the starting piece and then play around it. So as you can see in this game, enemy team has hard engage, but I also want to play from range. So we're gonna do this Phage, Shin into Airbound. That's the best way of actually itemizing Trinity in this game. If you want, you can even rush Manamune. There's nothing wrong with rushing Manamune. You're gonna obtain it earlier. But I generally speaking like a bit of more HP in this matchup, because it makes it way more annoying to play against an Ezreal which has more HP. It is harder to actually put him down. Another thing that I want to mention is that some Ezreal players, they go cashback. I usually go magical footwear because I don't want to waste time buying shoes with Ezreal. But keep in mind that if you're playing in low elo and you're playing really long games, 43-minute games, you can easily go for cashback, and I will never be mad at that. Cashback is one of the best runes to ever exist. You get a lot of gold for free. And I will never say no to someone actually using it. Simply trading a bit still. And I believe that we take him. Oh, but this guy, I wasn't thinking about him, honestly. Help. I mean, I couldn't do much here. So we're gonna go with the guy that actually has the weakest sustain. That's what I usually think when I play Ezreal. So we're gonna poke the Pantheon as well, because once the Pantheon is low HP, he has basically no way of doing anything. It's just like watching us. So as you can see, I'm aiming a lot of my Qs towards the Pantheon, looking for one Q on him rather than him. Here we can look for a Q even here. I think this fight is really bad for them, because the enemy MF won't be coming in time. As you can see, she's looking for me, but I have an E, which eventually puts us in a really good position. And Pantheon is already half HP, as you can see. It's a really good position. We look for an ultimate. That's a really good ultimate. Holy. That's what I love to see when I make videos. And yeah, we just got a really good ultimate. You see that with more HP, it is really hard for the enemy team to just like commit on me. And every time Pantheon jumps on me, it just like loses half of his health bar. And this makes you, again, the thing of having more HP as Ezreal just makes you really, really annoying. And that's why also like some people go Shojin when they have a lot of hard engage. The more HP you have, the more HP you stack, and the more damage you do without actually dying, the more your character has value. Another trick that I can explain you, go in this bash, especially when they have no prio and ult. The enemy won't have the time to actually dodge it. If you want to make it to the next level, you can place a control ward down just to make sure that the enemy doesn't know 100% that you're gonna ult. Now, the guy is 1 HP, we're eventually under tower, the Lux's ultimate, and in this position, they are either folding or they are staying and probably dying. So let's see what happens now. The guy takes it. Really good D by the Pantheon, not gonna lie. Now, the MF still has barriers, so we can't really fully commit. They are playing still in a decent way. Now the guy doesn't have E, so we managed to kill him off. And the MF has barrier, but we have barrier as well, so guess who's gonna win if we look for a trade. Of course, she has to flash. And from here, we're just gonna shove this one, and we're really happy. It's a 1-for-1, and we're making a lot of pressure, which makes MF having a really hard time on taking this wave and just like having a good farm. While as you can see, we're just making a shit ton of pressure and pushing them under tower every time. When you watch Trinity as an item, you have only 36 AD, which is really bad, especially when you go behind. You're trying to close a lot of items, but if you go Shin, which has no AD, and you have only Doran's Blade, with only Shin, you don't have enough damage on minions, so it feels really hard to farm, especially with people starting out. You either go for all the longswords and then close the rest the items, or you go for Manamune right away, which if you go for Manamune, you're always gonna build AD no matter what after the tier. Deal really good damage as well, but you're gonna be a bit more squishy, having less HP in the early stages of the game. I'm seeing that they're stacking a lot of armor. I don't know if you guys see it. They have plated here, Warden here. They have plated here, and apparently we sort of have a full AD comp. So of course we're gonna go for Cirilda this game instead of going for the overall really good Endless Hunger. I love this item. It makes you spam like a madman. You have a lot of lifesteal as well. But sometimes, to keep in mind that even if everyone is doing the same thing, right? They buy the first item, the second item, the third item, always the same. You gotta watch what you're playing against, because you're not gonna deal the same damage with Endless Hunger against all those high HP characters. And in this game, going for Cirilda will make much more value, because they look for an hard engage, I can slow them down. There's many reasons to it. But you gotta watch the enemy comp, really. Like, the best thing is to understand what they do and which item counters them. We're just gonna queue these guys. And the objective when you play Ezreal is, again, to ult people, play Fog of War. You can look for an ultimate here. Okay, might look for me. Okay, we kill one guy. We're gonna play as low as we can. My team is not playing the best. They're playing really badly. They're looking for fights right and left, but not really where we need them. This guy's much armor, so we're a bit in a bad position. Okay, we're still fine. Guy's still chasing. Oh my god. Okay. Can someone help me? Any away here? Okay. We're actually out of this really bad position. Another advice, I wouldn't advise as a starter to play Legend Haste. You play Legend Haste, you have no sustain on your build, so you have to go for Blood first at least. But again, I don't advise that. I advise to simply play for Bloodline, which gives you lifesteal, and it is the best way of actually playing. Now this guy tried to kill me, but he doesn't know who he is. Oh, fucking whiff. And we're gonna push this mid wave now. No, I'm not gonna go melee to Nasus level 14, but I'm just gonna let him do whatever he wants to do. And we should call Nash. Oh, we are in a really weird position where... he dies. Yeah, for sure. I mean, we can actually try to close at this point. Yeah, expect him to kill, but... if he kills, maybe, just maybe, we can try to get at least one tower. At least. Randall deals a lot of damage on towers. So... I do as well. Yeah, we got one tower. Yeah, slowly. We're fine. For now. One dies. Okay. We're still fine. Everyone died. And now we won the game. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Really easy basics. And that is why you're not able to carry with Ezreal. Just focus on these tiny things that we talked about. Which item to go first. All the tiny things regarding the farm, the AD, and in general, why when you're going behind you're not able to win. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye.